Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone around the world. Welcome to our Red Rank Spirit Guide, in which today I'll be your host, Pawse'S. I'll be giving you guys as much information as I possibly can that pertains to this killer and all forms of items, perks, and some mind games that you can perform with Spirit and Dead by Daylight. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a long video. I'm going to try my best. Let's get into it. Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Without further ado, we're going to dive into Spirit's power, her add-ons, and some of the best perks that you can run with this killer. For those of you guys out there that don't know, her power is called Haunting. I am not going to say the first word because I don't want to butcher it in respect for Spirit. But the way this works is, as long as you hold down your power button, you start traversing on another plane. While on this other plane, you no longer see survivors. They are technically stealth or invisible to you. Now you have to rely on other things in which you didn't have to before on other killers. As Spirit, you rely on sound, grass movement, footsteps, grunts of pain, in which, as a survivor, you could also counteract with perks such as Iron Will and Off the Record, which can mask your sounds. Versus Spirit, which can really hurt you. As Spirit, we also have add-ons such as Dried Cherry Blossom and Mother's Glasses, that give you a killer instinct. So in other words, if you're on top of a survivor, you will get that little heartbeat sensor that pops up if you're next to them or what have you. Gives you an opportunity to M1 them, make them injured, all that sort of thing. But for Dried Cherry Blossom, running this add-on takes away scratch marks entirely while you're phasing. So that is not good whatsoever. You will still see the scratch marks while you're not in phase, but when you start phasing, you no longer have the option to see scratch marks. So keep that in mind. So for newer survivors, new killers out there who are trying to play Spirit, get better with this killer, I do not recommend this add-on, Dried Cherry Blossom. I don't want you to rely on this to get better with this killer. It'll change your playstyle drastically while you're playing Spirit and Dead by Daylight. Now, to touch back on her power, for a lot of people that don't know this, her husk, in which is stationary to you, transmits a terror radius, right? While you are phasing, you will also transmit an audible Q sound, such as like the swooshing noise that a lot of us are familiar with when it comes to Spirit. If a survivor is at a tile in which your husk is also there, that survivor has to pay attention to your terror radius, where the husk is at, and let alone the audible sound that you get while phasing. Be it if you phase on top of a survivor who's on one side of the map while your husk is somewhere else, they don't hear the terror radius, they will hear your swooshing sound as you get on top of them, which is a little bit interesting. But at the same time, we do have add-ons that can really help us and or hurt us, such as Mother-Daughter Ring, that allows us to get from point A to point B. So I can leave my husk here and go across the map with Mother-Daughter Ring at a 40% movement speed increase, yet I do lose the scratch marks. So for me and other Spirit players out there, we don't deem this add-on a negative impact because we are already used to paying attention to the sounds and the movements and all that sort of thing. This doesn't really hurt us as much. But for players out here, such as newer Spirit players or older Spirit players who don't understand how this works, 40% movement speed is massive, right? We also get another one that gives us 10% movement speed. But when you come out of phasing, with that increase in movement speed, you do gain lunge distance on your M1. And a lot of people don't realize that, which is really, really good. So that's an upside that the perk doesn't tell you, or the add-on doesn't tell you. We have other add-ons in the game right now that do go hand in hand with Mother-Daughter Ring, such as her amulet here, which if you do see a Spirit player running Mother-Daughter Ring, generally they probably have this as well. This increases your duration of your haunting by 70%, which is massive. But it changes the way you play Dead by Daylight, changes the way how you play Spirit entirely. It does give you more options to mind game at certain loops and all that sort of stuff, which is really fun. But at the same time, for newer players, if you have to rely on this amulet, it's really going to hurt you when you take off this amulet inside of your games. You see what I'm saying? And it also decreases your movement speed by 15% overall, which doesn't really matter with Mother-Daughter Ring, but that's just something you have to consider. We have other add-ons here such as Furion, which, myself included, I used to love running this perk way back in the day. But for those of you out there that don't realize what this actually does and how it actually hurts Spirit, more so than helping her, while you're mind gaming a survivor at a tile, like at a pallet, at a window, this can really mess you up. Because if that survivor has a good headset and or is pretty decent at the game, if you're standing at a window or a vault location or a pallet location and you're just staring at the survivor trying to mind game them and tricking them that, hey, I phased, it's not going to work. Because a good survivor will realize, oh, Spirit's just standing here. Cool. You guys done with that, Jen? Because you give an audible sound off to every survivor in which, hey guys, I phased. So if you don't hit that button, you're just standing there wasting your own time. These are things you got to consider before you slap on this add-on thinking it's amazing. When it, in some situations, it can be really, really good, and others, it hurts you playing against better teams or better survivors at the end of the day. We do have add-ons such as your amulet that does give you a 20% duration and haunting speed, and which I would advise for all newer players and or spirit mains to run. This is very, very good. It gives you a little bit of a bigger window to mind game certain survivors and all that sort of stuff. This is pretty good. It's really good to play with this than not have it, because it gives you more distance on your phasing power. You can travel from point A to point B a lot better than you could before without it, because it increases your duration overall. With an add-on such as Sports Day Cap, you get that 10% increased movement speed. This is generally like all spirit players kind of run this. It's not one of my favorites. I'd rather be in chase a lot more. And by doing so, I'd generally run White Hair Ribbon or Bamboo Comb. This allows you to get into your phasing form 15% faster and or 20% faster. It allows you to keep up in chases. So builds such as like Save the Best for Last, this is really, really good to run. That way you can always be in a chase or always catch up to a survivor to get those stacks for your tokens. Now, on top of that, we do have another add-on in which isn't used by myself, let alone in general by a lot of spirit players out here, and that is called Bonsai. And the way this add-on works, in which you probably have no idea because you don't see it that often, but Bonsai is actually really, really good. The downside to it is by running Bonsai, you lose out on the opportunity of getting that increased movement speed. Lose an opportunity of getting the haunt duration or being able to activate your power a lot faster. Bonsai goes hand in hand with perks such as your talisman here that increases your haunting duration and or your amulet. And the way this works, while you're phasing on top of a survivor, right? Let's say that survivor is looking back at you as you're going, in a straight line, for instance. You know the red stain that you see or every other killer has in the game Dead by Daylight? Well, as spirit, you phase in and out of existence. Your red stain disappears, every now and then when you're phasing. Well, with amulet, it allows you to stay phased for a longer duration. On top of with having Bonsai, your frequency of the red stain going in and out happens more often. Therefore, you have a better chance of catching up with that survivor because they don't get to see where you're at all times as you would if you didn't have Bonsai, if that makes sense, because your red stain kind of fades in and out of existence, which is really, really cool. But it's something you probably won't run into that often. Anyway, we have one more add-on to talk about before we start diving into builds here. This is called Teacup, which is very, very solid as an iridescent add-on, but it only works out when you're running certain build situations, because you don't really want to run a build that doesn't really involve you breaking doors or pallets and all that sort of thing without running this Teacup. Now you have Teacup with this one as well, which gives you that power back if you get stunned by a pallet. But again, you don't really want to run these add-ons here unless you're using a build that benefits off of running these add-ons, if that makes any sense to you. So perks such as Enduring, Spirit Fury, Brutal Strength, things that give you better opportunities of damaging and or breaking a pallet quicker, or generators or doors. Once you break that pallet and or door, you get your power back. But overall, let's dive into the builds that we're going to be talking about today, and some of the builds in which I would highly recommend for new spirit players out there. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and dive into 3 different build setups here, in which I absolutely adore on spirit, let alone they help you climb, they help you get better when it comes to macro and micro plays for this killer, let alone some killers in general. We're going to take a peek at Fearmonger and Dead Man Switch. These 2 perks will be core of this build, meaning they won't change out. But we also have 2 open slots that we can put in anything else into this build and do just fine, depending on your playstyle. But overall, the way this build setup is going to work is with Fearmonger, any survivor that's working on a generator becomes blinded, and they also suffer from an exhausted status effect. Meaning, if you creep up on a survivor who's on a gen, they might be unaware of you, and if you can get that M1 because they are exhausted, they can't use Sprint Burst, you might also get yourself another down. In doing so, if you're able to hook a survivor, any survivor you push off a gen, or whatever survivor stops working on a gen after another survivor has been hooked, that generator can be locked down. Therefore, a survivor can't touch that gen, they can't access it, as while Dead Man Switch is active. With these 2 open slots, you have an option of taking so many different perks that can help you out. I would highly advise you to pick up Sloppy Butcher and or Gift of Pain, considering this metagame has shifted, meaning healing is not as dominant as it once was. Medkits aren't as good as they once were before. They're still useful, but you know what I mean. So if you want to take Gift of Pain, you have to rely on sending a survivor on a Scourge Hook, which some maps, you don't really see a lot of Scourge Hooks on whatever side of the map you might be. But if you are able to, I would highly advise to do something like Gift of Pain and Agitation. This allows you to transport your bodies to a hook a lot quicker than before. Therefore, you might be able to trigger Dead Man Switch on a survivor who's on a generator who is not paying attention to where you might be, which is very, very solid. If you're not a fan of Scourge Hook builds, you can take Sloppy Butcher and couple this up with Corrupt Intervention. That way you can get off multiple M1s, multiple injuries in a match as quickly as you possibly can. The more survivors that are injured, the easier of a time of a game would be for Spirit, because sounds, grunts of pain, are what you actually have to look for when you're phasing. We're going to take a peek at one more variation here, which I absolutely love, and I think it's very, very good, which is Pain Residence on top of Corrupt Intervention or Agitation. This build in itself is just super, super good, considering when you hook a survivor, you have an opportunity of triggering Pain Residence and Dead Man Switch at the exact same time. Considering they're blinded and exhausted, they don't know when you're going to hook. So when you do hook and you catch them off guard at Pain Resonance, you trigger Pain Resonance for 25%, and they do scream, even though it does not necessarily say that here, they still do scream, and then you can trigger Dead Man Switch at the same time. Here's one bonus build that you can actually add on here as well, with Franklin's Demise and Devourer Hope, on top of Dead Man Switch and Fearmonger. For those of you out there who know that survivors still do bring medkits, and some survivors nowadays are bringing toolboxes with brand new parts and prove thyself, Franklin's Demise is very, very good because it forces survivors to heal one another instead of using their own medkits. Well, they don't have medkits now, considering Franklin's Demise is very, very good at this game. You can get rid of all the items that you see in a lobby and force them to play off of Devourer Hope. If they're injured, this gives you an opportunity to down them because they haven't healed up because no medkits. With Franklin's Demise, this gives you easy tokens with Devourer Hope. Most of the time, an injured survivor will come to that hook and try to get a survivor off that hook. You can just trade, essentially. Now, for this build here, the playstyle that entails is completely different than the last one, than what you might normally play when it comes to Spirit. I like doing a whole lot of hit and run playstyles that incorporate other mechanics that give you a lot of value, such as knockout or save the best for last, in which how this build is going to play off of one another. You have the core aspects of it, which is Discordance here, along with save the best for last. These 2 perks are interchangeable. And the way this works, Discordance allows you to get triggered a notification if more than one survivor is working on a generator. That generator gets highlighted and turns yellow. Therefore, you know, hey, there's more than one over there. Once you get over to that gen, if you do see, which you should, multiple survivors, you can get multiple stacks of save the best for last. Therefore, you can stack up your M1 speed, which is your melee attack. You get a stackable token that increases your cooldown reduction on that ability by 5% per token, which is really, really, really good. That's 40% reduction on your M1s, which in turn allow for Spirit to have some very, very strong plays, because survivors cannot outrun you when you couple up your perks with some of your add-ons, such as, again, your White Hair Ribbon and or Mother-Daughter Ring, which makes this build absolutely disgusting. They can't outrun this, especially when you have 8 tokens and save the best for last. It makes it very, very hard to deal with. The other options here that we run with today are going to be Knockout and Jolt. Jolt goes hand in hand with abilities such as Sloppy Butcher and Gift of Pain, because as long as that survivor doesn't heal up, it's easier to down. Well, consider we're not running Gift of Pain or Sloppy Butcher, we're playing with Knockout. A survivor in which gets knocked out cannot be revealed to any other survivor outside of 16-meter range. They have to be there to see you, see where you're at. Well, with that being said, when they are able to be finally picked up, it gives you another opportunity to go down that survivor again to trigger Jolt value on generators. you always have pressure depending on how you play the match, which is very, very, very fun. Now, there's another aspect to this build that we're going to be getting rid of discordance for Franklin's Demise when a lobby calls for it. When a lobby has more medkits or more toolboxes, all that sort of thing, you will be swapping that out for Franklin's Demise. This will help you a ton, especially to win that game. When a survivor can't heal up, when they're injured, they have to go to another survivor to heal them. Well, in that situation, that means now there's two survivors on top of each other that you can get stacks off of with save the best for last, right? And or knocking out one of them and pushing the other survivor across the map or whatever. Therefore, they're probably going to forget where the other one's at because they probably crawled away somewhere or what have you. It is very, very fun. But overall, thank you guys so much for staying with me for this long and watching my content. This has been a very, very long guide. My voice is so tired, but it was worth it. I had a lot of fun making this guide. I do hope I can teach a couple people a thing or two when it comes to Spirit. If not, I'm still learning myself. There's so many things, ins and outs when it comes to perks and ability choices for this killer to prosper off of, and there will be more as they release more killers into the game of Dead by Daylight. Therefore, we'll be here theory crafting, pumping out videos, and having a good time. This has been Pawse'S. I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. See y'all later. All right, boys and girls, here we go. Dive into our first game, coming at you with Franklin's Demise, Sloppy Butcher, Dead Man Switch, and Fearmonger. Before we actually get into it, I want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone out there who's been watching my content since day one. I've grown so much since then, from doing no commentary Dead by Daylight, I don't know what was wrong with me, to coming out and doing commentary, let alone being as... What are you doing, bro? Being as informative as I possibly can when it comes to Dead by Daylight, let alone Spirit. This is the only killer that I play religiously. Because no other killer comes close. But for those of you out there who are new to the channel and or will be subscribing here in the future or after this video, thank you so much and welcome to the home of Spirit. I want to give a shout out to Reds Gaming Gears, who has been a big mentor for me when it comes to Dead by Daylight, let alone in life, all that sort of thing. I wouldn't be where I'm at now in Dead by Daylight without him. So I really, hats off to you, homie. Thank you so much for all the support and love, and I appreciate you so much. And I do hope that we can continue to grow together. But overall, I'm coming at you guys with the best information that I can, with my own experiences with Dead by Daylight for Spirit. So I do hope you guys will learn something with me on our journey together. Nice pallet. Girl, I'm gonna get you one way or the other. Nice. Now, I did show you guys many variations with this build setup here. This is one of my favorites with Sloppy Butcher and Franklin's Demise. It allows you to get so much pressure and stopping survivors from healing, giving them Sloppy Butcher. That way you're able to find them a lot better while you're phasing, considering grunts of pain and all that sort of thing. You got to keep in mind that with Spirit, we do rely on a lot of sound. So while not having a survivor injured, that really can hurt you, to be all fair, right? Hold up. Get that Dead Man Switch lock. She's going up here to the gen. Cool. No healing for you. Nice job with the flashlight. I'll take it, though. Appreciate it. What the heck that was? That was loud. Also, in case you guys didn't know, there's like little trash piles here underneath the window. They make like a loud sound notification ever since this map is updated. You played yourself. Now, so far, we know of 3 gens that have currently have progress. The one behind us on the hill, the one over here, and the one where we first found Jill. These are the only gens that I know that actually have progress right now. I have no idea what you're doing here, bud. Nice job. Sure. They're still not going to get the gen. Leave him slugged out for a second. Where'd she run off to? Surprised she didn't go back for her flashlight. That's awkward. Come here, girly. What did you learn? Now, if you notice, when I do my content here, I kind of like having story time and talking about what's going on in the game instead of just like super focusing on tunneling in and giving you guys silence and me trying to listen as Spirit. You know what I mean? Because for those of you who don't know who's been watching my content for a while, I do play this game on 10% volume at all times. I know it's a little crazy, but I like to be able to communicate and or try to make my audience feel they are part of, you know, what I'm doing. I like to try to include you guys in the games instead of just being one of those content creators who don't really talk a lot while they're playing video games. You know, serious mode, you know what I mean? But it be what it be. Where did he head off to? I think he's still laying underneath the pallet. Yeah, he is. What a good guy. That's fine. I don't think this team is ready for this sort of situation here. I don't generally play nice when I come to playing Spirit anyway, so it be what it be on that note. Yeah, come pick him up. It's fine. Sure. Well played, you got him. I'm going for the hook if you don't mind. Sir. How much you want to bet he's got power struggle or something? Come here, girly. Hold up. Yeah, me. She tried. Nope. And that'll do it for this one. We're gonna dive into game number 2. Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Diving into game number 2. Coming at you with a slight variation with Sloppy Butcher, Fearmonger, Deadman Switch, and Devour Hope. Yeah, Sprint Burst, Ada? Yeah, you do. At least that looked like Sprint Burst to me. Ooh, well played. Okay, you'll get yours. It's fine. Unfortunately, our totem is in a very, very bad spot. It is right next to a hook here. And I have to assume that she's already seen it. Yeah, she definitely saw that. That's fine. We'll get her hooked up here first in hopes we can trigger Deadman Switch on a generator over there. Alright, so there goes the first gen. In which, across the map, not really worried about it too much. I'd rather be on this side anyhow, considering we do have Devour Hope over here. So we have 2 gens, 3 gens, 1 in check as well, that we can actually patrol and protect our totem and do just fine. I did not get the trigger of Deadman's here. Oh, we did. Never mind. Cool. That was an immediate unhook. I'll take the token, though. That's fine. You are not allowed to heal up, though. I'll wait. 3 survivors here. Ash is on top in the middle of the map here. Give you an M1. Part of me wishes I had Franklin's, but it's fine. I don't think a lot of things are more satisfying than taking the survivor's items and for that survivor to come back and try to pick it up, especially with a build like this where you have to rely on Devour Hope and Deadman's to get you a lot of value. Fearmonger too, of course. They all kind of play just so well together. She got this. Very well played. Well, there's nothing else for you to do over here. There's no pallet that you need to get to. We're just waiting for our power to come back up, essentially, before we choose which way I'm going to force her to go. Take the down here. There goes the second gen. Not so bad. We're going to hook her upstairs. Because they're working on the gens that are on this side of the map that I don't care about too much. Gotta keep that in mind. We have 3 gens on my side of the map with the totem, in which we are going to be patrolling. So once we get up to 3 tokens, this game's over. Like, in a nutshell. That's it. Alright, so I gotta assume he's seen the totem as well. And you never know if any of these guys are on Discord, they're on communication. You don't know. You just gotta assume once they've seen that totem, everybody knows who the totem is. Nice double back. Good try. We're gonna slug him out for a second. Someone's healing upstairs. Gotta stop that. Not today. Ash, come here. Come here, buddy. Don't do this to me. You got it. There he is. Well played. I thought we actually had it considering the little statue here, but that was pretty good on her part. Not gonna lie. Come here, buddy. Uh-huh. I know you heard those slight footsteps behind me. It's pretty good. Thank you. I do want to pursue that one, but I don't want to go too far because I do know that Ada knows this totem is here. Who's down here? Come here, friend. Nice job. Can you double back for me, please? Oh, what a good guy. Thank you. Alright, so get your boy hooked up here. And now we should get our Devourer token here. Now we should win the game. But we'll see how they want to play it. I am going to go try to push someone off a gen with Deadmans if they're over here or not. I don't know. There goes the crows. Nice. It just locks them down to let them know, hey, I'm here type thing, which is pretty good. That means there are also with 2 survivors over there. Both of them were there, actually, so Ash will get the unhook. Right? This has to be Ash. We're pretty good at this game, boys. I'm trying to tell you. That's pretty good. Remember, Devourer of Hope is why he went down. We had 3 tokens off, so he was exposed. So now they all know, definitely know, that we have Haunted Ground somewhere. Or sorry, Devourer of Hope somewhere. That is not the play. Hola, Chiquita, I see you. Nope. 1 left. She was that direction as well. That's awkward. That's fine. I'll just hook her instead. He should get the pickup on the other one, though. Get her out of the game at least. That was awkward. Where are you gonna go, buddy? Now you may argue we can try to get 5 stacks, but there is no point ever of trying to win your game around getting 5 stacks with Devourer Hope. Once you get up to 3 tokens, that's pretty much it, boys and girls. Like, that's all you need is 3 tokens with this perk. Okay, she did not get the unhook, so they're going for the totem here. Yep. 5 tokens is just like, you know, the best of the best both worlds. You know what I mean? You really just need 3 to snowball and carry off the rest of the game. Because generally, keep in mind that once you hook a survivor, as long as that survivor gets unhooked out of 24-meter range, you will get a token. 3 guarantees that 1 shot down, regardless of healthy or not. 5 just allows you to Mori them. It's not really a big deal. And having a build set up here with Fearmonger and Deadman Switch allows you to control what gens that you want to be popped and what gens you want to patrol, which is really, really good. And if they can't use their sprint burst, when you catch them while being exposed, it's an easy down for you. Now there is another perk in which that you can try out in your games, which would be Blood Echo. Sounds a little crazy, but you can do something with Devourer Hope, Blood Echo, right? Sloppy Butcher, and then you go with a like Chill, things of that nature, or Franklin's Demise. You stop the healing entirely, and as long as multiple survivors are still injured or don't heal up, they become exhausted 45 seconds and suffer from hemorrhaging status effects, which allows you for easy downs because they can't activate sprint bursts as well. But overall, it was a fun build setup. We will dive into another game. I'll see you guys in a split second. Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Diving into another game, coming at you on the Sheltered Woods at Macmillan with Jolt, Knockout, Save the Best for Last, and Discordance. 2 survivors up here. The first one here is our Obsession. We are going to ignore him for right now. That's fine. See if we can get a smack on, I think this was Lyra. Is that her name? I don't know. I'm not good at this sort of thing. I keep forgetting to change our survivor names over to the actual survivors. That way I don't get confused, but it'd be what it'd be. There she is. Come here, girly. Let me get that M1. You don't mind. Appreciate it. So now that she's injured, we're probably going to go across the map here, see if we can stop that gen. I don't really want to spend too much time here. It's not that important to me. The more importance is we know that our obsession was on that side of the map as well. Now, these two survivors here shouldn't be our obsession, so we should be able to get multiple stacks on Save the Best for Last. It plays out in our favor. Yep, cool. We'll take that. There's 2 tokens. He is still back here somewhere. Might take me a second. It's hard to hear with the generator here. There he is. That's fine. We'll wait. Hey, buddy. Where you going? Do you mind? We should be able to down him and trigger Jolt on both of these generators if there's progress in the other one as well. And the one in the middle here. Nice. Double gens, double Jolt value. We'll take it. Normally I would slug him, but I want to get my first survivor hooked up with the build like this. We have 2 other survivors injured besides our obsession, so we do have an opportunity of injuring another survivor who goes for this hook, therefore getting another token stack. Depending on how you want to play it. Cool. Come here, girly. I need you to lay down for me. Please. Just take a nappy nap. That's all I need. You thought she was going to spin me. That's 3 gens with 1 Jolt. It's our obsession here. We're going to pull away from him. Eventually, we'll have to deal with him. But for right now, we have 5 stacks. We're going to try to get more if we're able to. Excuse you. Another Jolt value on 2 gens. By the way, this all started with Discordance. Now, for those of you out there that do like playing with Discordance, this is one of the main reasons why it is so good on certain killers, especially when you're able to combine Spirit with a perk such as Save the Best for Last and do things like this. There's like no cooldown on power like this. It's so good. Because you can always be in a chase, and as a hit and run playstyle, as a killer who's very good at chasing down survivors, it's right up your alley. Come here, buddy. That's fine. We'll go back for her if we're able to. Hold up. That's not the one I was looking for, but we'll take it. Enjoy your nap. Now we can go ahead and show them that we have knockout. Being she's at like a corner of the map over here, it might be a lot more beneficial to just let her lay down for a little while. Get her here as well. Thank you. Now we'll tell you, survivors that you do play against with Spirit and or any killer you're playing with Knockout, they absolutely hate being slugged. But considering Knockout is literally, hey, slug survivor to get value. Okay. You do what perk says, survivors don't like it, they leave. But it kind of comes with the territory regardless of what build you're playing with, even though you are playing Spirit. People just don't want to play with you in general, to be fair. But playing with Knockout also gives you another form of slowdown, which people need to differentiate when is a good time to do it, when's a bad time, how does slugging help you win. Most survivors, generally speaking, with Knockout, they will bleed out in a corner of the map or what have you. Or they force other survivors to come over there to pick them up, right? At the end of the day. Let's go find your boy Leon. Never mind, we aren't going to go find Leon. And that's game number 1. Guess we'll dive into another one. Let's go. Alright, boys and girls, here we go for the final game of the day, coming at you on Dead Dog Saloon, which is a very, very hard map for most killers, let alone we are playing Spirit. We're coming at you with Knockout, Jolt, Save the Best for Last, and Franklin's Demise. This is going to be a very tough game, considering we have 2 Claudettes here who are pretty good at blending into every single bush on this map. That kind of sucks for me. But it's alright, it's all good. Let's see if you can make a couple people rage quit and or disconnect due to Knockout and have a good time doing it. Hold up. Nice job, well played, well played. I'll get you, don't worry, you'll get yours. Nope, she's still moving. Hola, chiquita. Get that first injury off on our first save the best for last. That's pretty good. Oh, hello, friend. You guys know how I feel about maps. Unfortunately, he happens to be our obsession, which is something that kind of happens to me all the time with my bad luck, but it's okay. Get rid of this map. And we are going to chase him again, see if he'll give me Shack Pallet. That was bad. Oh, that sucks, man. That really sucks. What makes that so bad is the fact that I wanted to actually M1 him. Regardless if I didn't have a token there or not, it wouldn't have mattered. The fact was, if I M1'd him, we would have got jolt value. Instead of just, you know, picking him up, essentially. Doing that, you don't get the trigger jolt. And that includes lockers and all that sort of thing, too. Or snatching a survivor off a pallet during those animations or a window, whatever. You got lucky. But, can you give me Shack Pallet for free, though? I really appreciate it. Thanks for that, Pallet. I don't know why he dropped that, like, knowing that he has a protection hit. Can I have Shack and I'll leave you alone? I promise, I'll leave you alone. Just give me Shack, dude. That's it. Hold up. Oh, wait. What a good guy. Thank you so much. Goodness. We got rid of, what, 3 pallets here from one chase? We'll take it. No toolbox for you. His map is going to disappear here soon, too. Which really helps me out because it also stops him figure out where generators and stuff are at and totems and all that sort of thing. Even though without running any totem perks. We'll get her hooked up once we down her here. Sweet. There's no reason to knock her out in the middle of everything. Especially considering I don't want them to know that we have knockout just yet. It will come into play a little bit later. I do have 3 generators left, which is terrible. Hold on. Nice job. Almost got me there. We'll leave him laying out for a little bit. Actually, never mind. We're just going to force him on stage 2. Unfortunately, he is our obsession, but this will give them an opportunity of, crap, he's going to die, and then I'll get more stacks. Like, that's going to be my game plan going into it. Let's see, where's she going? Let's go for this Claudette here. Nice job. Bro, please come out of the locker. Another wasted opportunity for Jolt. That kind of sucks. We're gonna drop her here. And go back towards this hook. Stop this healing. Hopefully we can hit her instead. Never mind. Good job, bud. Played it well. Alright, so she has like 2 or 3 pallets over here, I believe. Well played. Oh, she got me. I messed up. Yep. Goes 3rd gen. I just want to see if we can force her to get this pallet as well, and we'll move on. Good job. We are forced to break this, and we'll go back towards the other Claudette. Nice. Perfect timing. Let's see, where's she at, though? They're on the inside. We're going to break this door. They should get the healing off in time, unfortunately. Yep. Now, if we did have Sloppy Butcher there, she wouldn't have gotten the healing off, but it's okay. We'll get our stack back, and we should be able to down her. Wow, very well played. I'm actually not sure which way she went to. That was pretty good. Maybe like in a bush or hiding behind the cart. That was really, really good. She got me. Yep. It's a pretty good double back. Can you do it again, though? Here's your chance. Give me the pallet for free. You got this. I have faith in you. We're gonna wait. Cool. This is where the game should change in our favor. Considering she's out of the way of generators and all that sort of thing, a survivor's gonna have to cross the map to go look for her over there. Which will give me an opportunity of slowing down the game entirely because they're not working on gens. I need this M1 here. There's no pallet here. There we go. Hold up, she's still here. Can my luck get any worse? Like, really, though? Leave you laying out for a minute? I have not downed her yet, so I want to see if she has Unbreakable and or maybe the other guy will come pick her up. We could have hooked her, but that doesn't really do me anything at that moment in time, to be fair. This build really is relying on getting survivors to waste their medkits and or healing up. That way they have no more resources. Once that happens, then you are free to start hooking survivors and or hooking survivors that will benefit you. Where'd she head off to? Other side. Cool. Well played. So she got picked up and or has Unbreakable, which is fine by me. This one likes hiding in bushes. There she is. Thank you. Get that jolt value. Hey, friend. Take another nap. Told you, boys, this is where the game changed. That's it right there. That was our winning point. And this game, I think, in general, would have went a lot differently if we didn't get 3 survivor catches in which weren't M1 downs. So we got the locker, we got the window, and we got the pallet, right? All 3 of those would have triggered multiple generators popping off with Jolt, which would have gave us a lot more regression. Unfortunately, survivors just happened to play a little bit, not so well. But it's all good. You won't make it. Thank you. I wonder where he ran off to. Nope, never mind. Cool. You gotta be a little mindful of how we do this here. I don't really want to M1 him or get him down unless we're able to. Never mind. There she is too. Take your nap. There's jolt value. Other Claudette's upstairs, I believe, or basement. There she is. All we need is this one survivor and this game's over. She's outside. Go back around. Come here, Chiquita. Come on. There you go. That's my girl. Very good game. Like I said, I think if we were able to actually get those down instead of just picking up the survivor, we had it. We had this game earlier, to be fair. We would have slowed down a lot more gens over here and had a lot more activity on this side of the map instead of making me go to the other side where there was only 1 gen. I think we did well, though, overall. But it'd be what it'd be. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun with this Master's Guide, with this Red Ring Guide. I had a lot of fun making it. Like I said, my voice is shot, tired, but it was a lot of fun. This has been Pawse'S. Remember to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for future content for all things Spirit, and I will catch you guys in the very next Dead by Daylight episode. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.